Welcome to the BookTalkers English Learning Zone. In today's episode, we're diving into a crucial skill for mastering English, introducing yourself like a native speaker. Whether you're meeting someone for the first time or making connections across the globe, how you introduce yourself matters more than you think. In this episode, we'll explore the differences in greetings across the US, UK, Australia, and New Zealand, and give you insider tips on how to sound natural, confident, and like you truly belong. From basic phrases to advanced tips, we'll show you how to make that first impression count. So, whether you're just starting your English journey or looking to refine your skills, tune in for a fun and informative conversation that will have you introducing yourself like a pro, no matter where you are in the world. Let's get started.
Okay, so you know how we all introduce ourselves in English?
Right.
We say, my name is Saiwakul, and then we say our name. But I feel like there's so much more to this.
Oh yeah, definitely. There are layers to it, and it's fascinating because we're going to look at how you introduce yourself like a native speaker in English.
Exactly. And then we're not just talking about, basic phrases here. We're going beyond that.
Yeah.
We're going to explore the differences between how people introduce themselves in the US, the UK, Australia, New Zealand.
Absolutely.
I think this is going to be really interesting for anyone who wants to sound, more natural,
Right.
more like they belong in these different places.
Yeah, and even if you think your English is already pretty good, this deep dive is going to uncover some, nuances and vocabulary choices and even the little things people say that you might not have noticed before.
Right. So much of it is not just what you say, but how you say it. So yeah, our goal today is to help you introduce yourself confidently and sound like you've always been a part of that English-speaking community wherever you are in the world.
Yeah, and I think it's important to start with the basics because even the most basic introductions can have subtle differences depending on where you are.
Right. So let's start with the beginner level, the A1, A2 level.
Yeah.
You got your classic phrases like, hi, my name is, or I'm from, and of course, nice to meet you. Like these are the building blocks.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll hear these everywhere, but even these basic phrases can be delivered in a way that signals where someone is from.
Right. Like if you're in the US, for example, you might hear something like, hey, I'm Sarah. I'm from Chicago. What about you?
Yeah.
So casual, right?
Yeah, that hey is very American, and that quick invitation to reciprocate what about you, it's all about, connecting right away.
Yeah, exactly. And then you contrast
Real
that
quick,
with
if you're
the
enjoying
UK,
this,
you
make
might hear
sure to
something
hit
like,
that subscribe
hello, I'm
button.
Tom. I live in London. Pleased to meet you. Like it's a little more formal.
Yeah, it is a little more formal. The hello instead of hey and pleased to meet you is very traditional.
Yeah, and even at this basic level, there's a little trick you can use to sound more natural, less like you're reading from a textbook.
Oh, what's that?
Instead of saying, my name is, all the time, try, you can call me, or people usually call me.
Oh, I like that.
Like it softens it a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It makes it more informal, more approachable. You're inviting the person to be on a first-name basis with you.
Right, and people usually call me. It kind of implies that you've got this, group of friends or a community where you're already known.
Yeah, it gives you a bit of a social context.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered the basics. Let's move on to the intermediate level, the B1, B2 level.
Okay.
So at this stage, introductions start to include more personal information. They become a bit more fluent.
Yeah, you might hear things like, hi, I'm Liam. I work as a graphic designer in Sydney. Or, hey there, I've just moved here from Brazil. Or even, hello, I'm studying English because I love traveling.
Right, and again, we see those regional variations pop up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. In Australia, you might hear, g'day, I'm Matt. I'm from Brisbane, keen to meet ya.
Love that g'day. So Australian.
It is, and keen to meet ya just has that friendly, enthusiastic Aussie vibe.
And then you've got New Zealand, where you might hear, kia ora. I'm Emma. I live in Auckland and work in education.
Kia ora is so cool. It's a Maori greeting that's become part of everyday language in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's so inclusive and welcoming.
It is.
So at this intermediate level, there's a really useful vocabulary tip that can make you sound more natural. And it's using words like currently, originally, or based in.
Oh, yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah, so instead of just saying, you could say, I'm currently based in Wellington, but originally from Christchurch.
Right.
Like it just adds a little more depth to your introduction.
Yeah, it implies a story. It makes people curious to know more.
Exactly. Okay, so let's move on to the advanced levels C1, C2.
All right.
Now, these are where introductions can get really interesting and sophisticated, and often they're tailored to specific professional contexts.
Yeah, you might hear something like, "Hi, I'm Anna. I specialize in project management and work with international clients."
Right, very specific, very professional.
Exactly. And notice the language specialize in, work with. It's very precise.
Or you might hear, hello, I'm originally from India, but I've spent the last 5 years in the UK working in marketing.
Yeah, combining that tip about originally from with a clear statement of professional experience.
Right, and it's all done very concisely.
Yeah.
And then you could also hear something like, good to see you. I'm passionate about sustainable development and eager to collaborate on innovative solutions.
Right, so it's not just about your job title. It's about your values, your interests, what drives you.
Yeah, and it invites collaboration.
It does.
Okay, so now for the fun part. At this advanced level, there are these little cultural add-on phrases that can really make you sound like you get it. And, you understand the local way of speaking.
Yeah, these are the subtle cues that show you're paying attention.
Like in New Zealand and Australia, it's super common to end a greeting with cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, it can mean thanks, bye,
Yeah.
or even just like a general acknowledgement.
Yeah, it's a very versatile word.
It is. And then in the UK, you might hear someone say, all right, as a greeting.
Right.
Now, this isn't them actually asking about your well-being.
No.
It's more like a casual hello or how's it going?
Yeah, and usually just respond with, all right, back, or a quick, yeah, all right.
Exactly. And then in the US, you often see, nice to meet you, even in written communication, like in emails.
Yeah, it's a standard polite closing.
It is. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from
Yeah.
basic greetings to advanced professional introductions and all those fascinating regional variations. So now we want to give you, our listener, a little challenge. We want you to actually put all this knowledge into practice.
Yes, let's make this interactive.
Okay, so here's the challenge. We're going to give you a template, and we want you to fill in the blanks and actually say it out loud.
Right.
Here's the template. Hi, my name is blank, and I'm originally from blank, but I'm currently living/working/studying in blank.
Okay.
So take a moment, personalize that. Now add a little bit about your motivation or interest. One of the main reasons I'm learning English is because blank.
Good.
And finally, let's practice that closing. Really pleased to meet you.
Okay.
Now here's the real challenge. Try saying that last phrase, really pleased to meet you, imagining you're in a formal setting in London.
Okay.
Then try it again with a more relaxed, friendly tone, as if you're meeting someone in a cafe in Sydney.
Okay.
And finally, give it a go with an enthusiastic American inflection.
I love it.
Yeah, so you'll probably notice how the same words can take on a totally different feel just by changing your intonation and delivery.
Exactly, and that's what makes this so interesting.
It is. So whether you find yourself using Jide or Kia Ora in your future travels, or maybe just sticking with hello,
Yeah?
just remember that those first few moments of introduction, they're so important for making a connection.
They are.
And the key takeaway here is that you now have a whole toolkit of ways to introduce yourself effectively in English.
Yeah, no matter where you are or who you're talking to.
So you can move beyond those basic phrases and really communicate with confidence and authenticity.
Absolutely.
So as you go out there and meet new people, just think about how those little changes in phrasing and tone can really make a difference.
Yeah.
And, think about what feels most natural and genuine to you, and how you might adapt your introduction depending on the situation.
Right, because it's not just about the words, it's about connecting with people.
It really is, and that's what we wanted to explore in this deep dive today.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening.
Like and subscribe.